For all the rivalry you think there is between Apple and Samsung, you would be surprised at their next partnership. It seems there will be no more iPhone SE and instead a new kind of iPhone in March. What if OnePlus were to launch their Watch 3 along with a much appreciated Pro variant? The biggest data leak in modern time, Nintendo just emerged with even more information about that Switch 2. Also, for those worried about the Galaxy S25 Series, the amount of rumored perks seems to be pretty hot. I'm Jaime Rivera. We've got 5 topics today, and I promise I did my best to condense it almost in half. This is Tech Briefing. You know, the problem with the beginning of the year is that nothing will be official until next week, so expect my CES coverage when I land in Vegas. For now, let's talk about Apple and Samsung. See, Sony has been the exclusive supplier of iPhone camera sensors since I can remember, which makes sense. Sony is the best at this. But that might change with the iPhone 18, so no need for immediate panic, as this might be until 2026. Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo and other leakers suggest that Samsung is developing a new type of camera sensor for Apple. This sensor is a 3-layer stack sensor, which is different from Sony's current technology, though we wonder by how much given the Lightyear offerings. The stack design means more electronics are directly attached to the back of the sensor, making it faster and more responsive. This could improve photo quality by reducing noise and enhancing signal processing. If true, this means we might see a jump to ISOCell in the near future, with a report of a massive 500 megapixel sensor in the works. Problem is, these Samsung current sensors are not necessarily my favorite, but I'm curious to know what you think in the comments. Now let's switch to Apple, because those iPhone SE rumors might have gone from boring to actually compelling. We've heard of this phone coming for nearly half a decade, but there seems to be a name change, and this could mean a ton of things. According to a post on Weibo by Fixed Focus Digital, which sure wasn't something I fully trusted until I saw everyone else report on this, but the next iPhone SE might be called the iPhone 16e. Another leaker, Majin Buu, shared similar information on December 31st. Yes, your guess is as good as mine as to what the E stands for, but if this is Apple taking inspiration from Samsung's Galaxy S10e, which, yes, is one of my favorite phones of all time and yours too, then the E stands for Essential. The new device is rumored to have a design similar to the iPhone 14 and iPhone 16, featuring 6.1-inch OLED screen, Face ID, a USB-C port, but then throws around the Essential motto with a single 48 megapixel camera. We're not exactly sure what A-series chip is coming on board, but given the push to Apple Intelligence, it's most likely going to be the A17 Pro or A18, along with 8 gigs of RAM. Other previous reports even claim this may also be Apple's first phone with its own in-house 5G modem. Now, sadly, we don't know if camera control or the action button are making it here, but I'm sure design leaks will emerge soon. Thing is, by signalizing that this is sort of a version of the iPhone 16 could be why we hear there's a slight price hike. Curious to know what you think about this iPhone in the comments. Now let's switch to OnePlus again because, well, I was already pretty excited about the rumored OnePlus Watch 3, but it seems that was just the tip of the iceberg. New rumors suggest that along with the OnePlus Watch 3, there will be also a OnePlus Watch 3 Pro announced. The Pro variant with model number WWE251 was just spotted in an FCC filing, and I know, like, what makes it Pro, right? Well, the listing kind of claims that there's a significantly larger battery than Watch 2 and 3, so that might be it. But what else? Listen, your guess is as good as mine as the leaks stop right there, but they most likely will be updated soon. Thing is that regardless of the minor design changes we covered on Watch 3 recently, it seems the company is geared to innovate in services. Yes, I think OnePlus heard that you don't like their app, and listen, apparently it's getting some sort of a refresh. OHealth seems to now be ready to bring major health improvements like ECG support, which in the past was reserved to far more expensive devices from competing companies, obviously. Some of this functionality actually got teased on a recent update. Heck, we even hear of a new 60-second checkup, which will provide users with a quick snapshot of their health metrics. Then there's Health Insights, Health Journey, which pretty much tell me that the application will now calculate progression, kind of like Garmin or the new Apple Watches do, which, listen, is just too good for that price point. Now, as far as the launch, it might actually not happen in January. Seems things will happen around March, just like last year. Curious to know what you think about this Watch Pro in the comments as well. But alright, time to talk about that Nintendo Switch again, and seriously, like, what is happening? Nintendo has been the king of keeping leaks under wraps, but now it seems they're more like playing the typical smartphone maker playbook. So for starters, let's talk about internals because they don't necessarily paint a pretty picture, but just wait for the second leak. See, rumors hint to an NVIDIA CPU one more time, but apparently built around the Samsung 8nm architecture, which is around 5 years old, even if it was packaged in 2024. Now, I wouldn't blame you for being concerned at a time when smartphones are already doing 3nm in ray tracing, though it seems this NVIDIA chip is more than capable of this and more according to more sources. Then RAM is tripled to 12GB, and obviously everything is dramatically faster than before because technology has just evolved so much in 8 years. Now, the second has to do with this and a patent that was filed in July 2023 but didn't emerge until recently. It outlines a plan for AI upscaling technology. So, similar to NVIDIA's DLSS and PlayStation's PSSR, this technology would allow games to upscale lower resolution images to 4K, significantly reducing the size of gaming files. For instance, games that would require 64 gigs just to give you that 4K resolution can now live in half the space. So yeah, the chip and this patent do paint a pretty picture. And then rumors like the magnetic Joy-Cons and the C capture button again remain. Let's see what we end up getting on March 31st. I'm also curious to know if you're excited about the Switch because I totally am. And finally, for the most interesting news today, let's talk Samsung, which has been on a good and sort of controversial spotlight lately, but we've got some additional positive tidbits that just emerged. So for those worried about the typical chip duality, we did hear it would happen about a month ago, and now we have a new contradiction. A recent listing on Geekbench shows the Galaxy S25 in its international model with the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which builds out hope for things going on a better route. That said, assuming some regions end up with the Exynos 2500, that chip doesn't slouch necessarily, according to reports. It's no Snapdragon, but it's not a bad chip, it seems. It'll be hard to predict how things will go, but it seems there's a light at the end of the tunnel for those picking either the Galaxy S25 Plus or the base models, because we know the Ultra is always going to go Snapdragon. Also, if you remember my complaints about 8 gigs of RAM on the S24, yeah, that will change as the benchmark shows 12 gigs of RAM on the base model. Now, to sweeten the pot, we hear Samsung is pulling a Google when it comes to services. Apparently, if you buy any Galaxy S25, you'll get 12 months of free Google Gemini Advanced, which means the Google One bundle that could even take your cloud storage to 2 terabytes and is really expensive. Like seriously, that alone is a big deal, though yeah, don't get too comfortable as the bill won't be cheap after that year. It's around $250 right now, and at the moment, we don't know if it'll happen outside the United States. And then last but not least, we hear that crash detection might finally be enabled. I know, the service that's existed on One UI since like version 5, but was pretty much dormant or probably in certain regions, I don't know, but apparently it'll make a debut in the Galaxy S25. It's hard to know why the company kept from offering this for so long, but anyways, in today's question, let us know, are you looking forward to any Galaxy S25 device, and if so, which one? Because in my case, I'm obviously waiting for the Ultra. I love the S Pen, I want that Snapdragon 8 Elite guaranteed, but I'm also wishing the base Galaxy S25 takes a full jump to the better. Anyways, that's just me. Leave us a comment down below, we'd love to know your opinion. Friends, again, Tech Briefing is a work in progress, and for us to continue into the next phase, we need your support. But listen, this is the good kind of support, where all we're asking you is for a like and subscribe, tell your friends that I've started a new channel, and also follow me on social media, which also is of huge support. Tech Briefing alone is the work of 3 people, so we really do hope you like what you see. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one, which will be at CES 2025.